Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of Purple Eagles Insider. I'm your host, Brittany D'Angelo, and this week we chat with members of the volleyball and softball teams. First up on this week's episode of Purple Eagles Insider is Ciara Bertram Jr. on the softball team. Ciara, welcome to Purple Eagles Insider.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming on the show. Yeah. So how's the season going so far?
Really good for us, actually. We just finished the Nan Harvey tournament last weekend, and we went 4-0 and had like a really strong showing and a lot of contributions from all of our team. So that was really exciting to see.
And that Nan Harvey Classic was against Canisius, UB, and St. Bonaventure. What are your impressions after that big standout start?
Again, like I said, we had a lot of contributions from every individual on the team, whether it be pinch running, pinch hitting, or anything. Just everyone contributed, which is really exciting to see because going forward we know that we have a lot of depth and talent to fall back on.
Absolutely, and you yourself have a lot of depth and talent to fall back on. I mean, describe the feeling to me when you put on your home country's colors and represented Canada in the circle at the Japan Cup last month.
I think the best way to describe it would just be a dream come true. I remember like as a kid when people would ask like future goals, you had to write down like your future goals. I would always put to like play for Team Canada and like never really thinking that it would come true. So yeah, just to actually reach that was just such an honor and just a dream come true.
I mean, it seems like it. What are some of the most memorable moments that you had playing for Team Canada?
Well, obviously playing like the best of the best in the world was just amazing. Just to even be there, like even not playing some of the time, just sitting there and like watching it all and taking it in was really cool. But I think my favorite part was the stuff we do off the field with signing autographs for the children and stuff, because I remember being that little girl that wanted an autograph, so it's like really cool to be able to be that role model and influence that I had as a child and like hope to encourage them to reach their dream too.
Absolutely. Now, I mean, taking all the knowledge that you learn on the international stage, how do you take that back to Niagara? How do you change that from the international stage to the collegiate stage?
Yeah, so I think my biggest takeaway was like that you never stop learning. Like it's not like they got to the international level and we're like, oh, yep, we made it, we're done. They are always learning, always looking for new ways to get better, and I just plan on doing that myself here and also encouraging my teammates to do the same and bringing back everything I learned from the Team Canada experience and sharing my knowledge with everybody else.
Absolutely. How is the team looking so far? As in, like, has like previous years you are a junior on the team, so how is the team looking in this year compared to previous years?
I think this is our best fall start since I've been here. So again, that's exciting, and the team chemistry, we all hit it off right from the beginning, which is a huge part of being a team sport.
So what are some goals and aspirations that your team has this year and will have in the seasons going forward, fall and spring?
So I think this year we're not settling for anything less than making the MAC tournament. That was our goal last year and we came up a little bit short and we're all very disappointed, so we don't ever want to feel that way again. And with the addition of our freshmen, we have a lot of talent and it's exciting. So I think we're pushing for that MAC tournament and that's our end goal, and we're not going to stop for anything short of that.
Well, I think with a 4-0 start, you are definitely on the right track. Yeah. But thank you so much for coming on the show, Ciara. It was a pleasure having you on, and good luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Next up on Purple Eagles Insider, we have Nicole Mathis, a senior on the volleyball team. Nicole, welcome to Purple Eagles Insider.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. So how's your volleyball season going so far?
It's going pretty well so far. We are on our 5-game winning streak, and we are starting our home conference schedule this weekend, so pretty exciting.
Now let's talk about this 5-game winning streak, because you guys, like we said, you guys have won 5 straight games. You're 2-0 in the MAC championships right now. What do you attribute to the team's successes? Like, what is going right for this team right now that is making these wins happen?
Well, I'd say we'd have a pretty stacked team this year. We have a lot of manpower, especially in different positions, and I think we could also attribute it to our resilience. We kind of struggled a little bit in the beginning of preseason, our first 2 preseason tournaments, and then we bounced back individually and as a team by coming together. So I think that it attributes a lot to our success.
Absolutely. And you also have had a ton of success this year personally. I mean, you have had a very successful season for your starter. You lead the team currently in kills and points, and you rank in the top 10 in the MAC for kills, digs, and points. So what do you attribute to your successes? How much Wheaties are you eating every morning?
Yeah, definitely a bowl. But I think it's just staying patient and realizing when your opportunity is going to come and not getting overzealous, and definitely the support of my teammates. I definitely struggled a little bit in the beginning of preseason, and having the support of my teammates, knowing that they're always there for me, and coaching and training staff has really led me to success.
How much would you say the off-season work has contributed to your on-the-court work?
Huge. That our spring season is when we don't play and we don't play any conference matches or anything. We just train, and that is what is attributed to our team success. That's where we get better, and then that just translates into the fall season.
Absolutely. And this weekend is the home opener for you guys.
Yes.
How much would it mean to have a huge crowd supporting the Purple Eagles on the court?
It would mean everything. I mean, every year we always have a good crowd. I would like to think we have, just from my experience playing at other teams, home gyms, we have the best crowd, best team atmosphere at our gym. And so we've been notorious for always taking care of business when other teams come into our gym. So looking to do that again this weekend.
I would also like to see that happen again this weekend. Keep that winning streak alive, you know what I mean? So obviously you are a senior. So what are your plans after college?
After college, not too sure, just looking into getting a job, full-time job, and kind of going from there, seeing what I want to do. Definitely going to be playing volleyball still, not ready to give it up, but definitely ready to move on from this part of my life.
Absolutely. And as a senior, I do get to ask you the notorious senior question. So what have been some of the best memories you have made on the court with your teammates?
Best memories have been, we had a game last year, or 2 years ago, sophomore year, where we had about half the gym was, the bleacher section was packed with students, and we had to win this game against Ryder to make it into the MAC playoffs, and the turnout was amazing. I felt like a big college championship match, essentially, and that was one of my best memories because it was so hyped on the court.
Well, Nicole, thank you so much for coming on a Purple Eagles Insider. Good luck at your home opener this weekend, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Last up on this week's episode of Purple Eagles Insider, we have Vilis Ozols, coach of the volleyball team. Coach Vilis, welcome to Purple Eagles Insider.
Well, thanks for having me, Brittany.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. So this is your 5th season with the volleyball team. From a coaching perspective, how would you say the season is going so far?
You know, it's been really fun. You always hope that you keep getting better. We did drop a couple matches early, and even if you're losing, you hope that you're getting better. And I think that really did occur this year. So we played some really tough competition early. We got better. And then even when we ran into tougher competition by the 3rd weekend, we were starting to win and execute, and it was kind of fun. So.
Well, I will say, you guys have definitely gotten better from the start that you had. I mean, you guys are on a 5-game winning streak, 2-0 so far in the MACs. What do you attribute to your team's successes?
You know, we've been a real strong defensive team. And for us, the secret is transitioning from defense to offense. So we can really stress teams with our defense, but then the secret is somehow to try and take advantage of that. And I think as we've progressed through the season, we've gotten better and better at transitioning and making that work for us. So it's kind of fun.
Absolutely. So how would you say non-conference play helps in MAC play as well? Because you do play a lot of non-conference to start, but then you move into MAC play, and obviously those are the games that count too. I mean, non-conference counts, but so does MAC. So how do those games really help in the preparation? You
know, it's really interesting, and I think it comes down sometimes to coaching philosophy. I and our staff, we typically don't worry about early season wins as much as we worry about early season development. And so we went and played some really tough teams, Big East and a couple of conference finalist teams in Colgate and Syracuse. And they stressed us, and so we learned to have poise under pressure. And then we went to Denver, and Denver's been to the NCAA tournament 3 straight years, and we were the only team in the tournament to take a set off them. We knocked off a team that was much higher than us in the RPI, and same thing. So we were still stressed, but now we were starting to perform under stress.
Absolutely.
And then by the 3rd weekend, we went out to Connecticut, and we played 3 teams that were pretty darn tough, and we just played really well. And so the preseason it really did get us into a position where we were doing what we needed to in time for the conference schedule.
Now, talking about the team, now this is the deepest team both in numbers and positions in your tenure. How will this depth benefit the team going forward, do you think?
You know, we've been very fortunate to have that depth, and there was 2 primary reasons. One is that it sort of gives us an overlap year because we're going to graduate 5 seniors, and so you want to really appreciate the fact that you've got 5 seniors who can contribute, but then you're already worried about what happens when you don't have those 5 seniors anymore. So we've had a lot of kids waiting in the wings who are growing and developing. We've also, as much as we've been pretty successful this year, we've been fighting the injury bug, and at one point we had 3 starters out with injuries, so having those other players capable and competent and ready to go was just, it was awesome, and it's been a big factor in our success.
Now, speaking about being ready to go, the home opener is this weekend, which is huge. Now, what would it mean to have a huge audience at that home opener for you guys?
You know, I think it's, for the players particularly, it's great. Like, one of the things I love about Niagara is how the student athletes support each other. I know there's soccer games today, and I know our team will be there, and the other teams, they feed off of each other, and I think they all know how hard they work and the level of commitment, and so it means a lot when our team sees the other players there, the other athletes, and just the student body supporting them. So I think it really does get them going.
Now, before games, do you guys have any like rituals or traditions that you guys do?
You know, there's a lot of stuff that happens behind closed doors, and and I think as a coach, I don't want to go in there when they're doing their. I'm sure there's some version of dancing and singing going on, but you know, our team does put together a team creed. It's sort of what we're all about, and we circle up before every practice, every match. We say it, and then we end every practice and every match with it, and it just sort of reaffirms what we're all about. And you know, at least that's the one I'm involved with. Like I said, there's others that I'm not as involved with.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming on Purple Eagles Insider. It was a pleasure to have you on the show, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Brittany.
Thank you for joining us this week on Purple Eagles Insider. Be sure to come support the volleyball and softball teams as they play in their home opener for this weekend. For more information on the rest of this week's matchups, visit purpleeagles.com. Thanks again for tuning into this week's episode, and be sure to catch our next episode of Purple Eagles Insider.